Let's be real, generative AI is everywhere. It's in every boardroom, it's all over your newsfeed. But for all the hype, a lot of business leaders are quietly asking themselves, where's the money? Where is the actual impact on the bottom line? Well, today, we're going to break down something called the Gen AI paradox and talk about the powerful solution that's just now coming into view. So let's just get a lay of the land here. According to recent research from McKinsey, a staggering number of companies, we're talking nearly 8 out of 10, are already using generative AI. The adoption rate has been absolutely off the charts. And this isn't just a few people playing around with it. No, this is about serious, enterprise-wide rollouts of co-pilots, chatbots, you name it. All these tools designed to make everyone more productive. The excitement is real, and the investment is huge. And this is where it gets kind of wild. It turns out that roughly the exact same percentage of companies are reporting absolutely no material impact on their earnings. So think about that. Widespread adoption, massive investment, but for the vast majority, it hasn't moved the financial needle one bit. This right here is what the report calls the Gen AI paradox. It's the big mystery we're going to unravel today. Where is all that value hiding? And more importantly, how do we actually get our hands on it? Okay, so to solve this paradox, first we have to really understand what's causing it. Why are we seeing all this deployment with so little to show for it? Well, the whole problem comes down to this really critical imbalance. See, on one side, you have what are called horizontal tools. Think of your company-wide co-pilots. They're easy to scale, they give a little productivity boost to everyone, but the impact is spread so thin it's almost impossible to measure. But then you have the vertical tools. These are the ones designed for specific jobs, with the potential for massive, game-changing impact and huge ROI. The problem? Almost all of them, something like 90%, are just stuck in pilot mode, going nowhere. So why are these high-value projects failing to launch? Well, the report points to 6 big roadblocks. And you can see a pattern here, right? It's this messy mix of flawed strategy, tech that's not quite there yet, and just culture. You've got fragmented projects, silo teams, messy data. This is the bottleneck that's creating the entire paradox. So if that's the problem, what's the answer? Well, we're starting to see the next evolution of AI emerge, and it's called Agentic AI. If those first-gen tools were reactive, just waiting for a prompt, agents are proactive collaborators. This is AI that doesn't just respond, it acts. So what exactly is an AI agent? It's way more than just a smarter chatbot. It takes the language skills of a large language model and bolts on some crucial new pieces: memory, the ability to plan, and deep integration with your other systems. The key difference here is that an agent can take a high-level goal you give it and autonomously figure out and execute a complex plan to get it done. Here's how that works in the real world. You don't give an agent a bunch of little prompts. You give it an objective. The agent then understands that goal, breaks it down into a multi-step plan, and then actually executes those steps by talking to your software, your databases, even other people. And this is the really cool part. It learns and adapts on the fly. It's a goal-driven, autonomous system. But listen, this is probably the most important insight in this entire report. Unlocking the true value of agentic AI isn't about just plugging these new agents into your old, creaky processes. It's about fundamentally reinventing the work itself. And this quote just nails it. The whole mindset has to change. You have to stop thinking about just automating a few tasks here and there, and start thinking about completely redesigning your processes from the ground up, with agents treated not as tools, but as a new kind of digital coworker. That is the real difference between a small improvement and a true transformation. And just look at the difference this makes. This call center example illustrates it perfectly. If you just assist your human agents with some Gen AI, you might get a 5 to 10% improvement. Okay, not bad. If you use AI agents to automate tasks in the same old process, you get a bigger bump, maybe 20 to 40%. But when you totally reinvent the process around what these agents can do autonomously, the impact is explosive. A 60 to 90% reduction in resolution time. That's not an improvement, that's a revolution. And this isn't just a theory. Let's look at a real-world example in banking. Before, creating a credit memo was this painful, manual slog that took days. Now, you have an AI agent doing all the grunt work, pulling data, drafting the memo, even scoring its own confidence in the output. And what does that do to the human's role? It elevates it. They're no longer a data entry clerk.
They're a strategic decision maker.
And the result? A massive 20 to 60% gain in productivity. This is it. This is that tangible, bottom-line impact that was missing from that first wave of Gen AI. This is what happens when you don't just automate, you reinvent.
So the potential is clearly enormous. But as we all know, with any huge shift like this, the technology is often the easy part. The really hard part? Well, that's us. It's the human side of the equation.
The report breaks down 3 core challenges here. First, how do people and these agents actually work together? Who does what? Second, how do you control and manage a system that can act all by itself? And third, as it gets easier for anyone to build these things, how do you stop a chaotic, ungoverned mess of shadow agents from popping up all over the company? Getting these right is absolutely critical.
So, how do you solve for all that? This brings us to the final piece, the actionable playbook for leaders. It's really time to move on from scattered experiments and get serious about a focused transformation. And this playbook really requires 4 huge shifts, and they have to come straight from the top. Your strategy has to go from a bunch of scattered projects to a focused strategic program. The goal isn't just about one use case anymore, it's about reinventing an entire process. This can't happen in some siloed AI team. You need cross-functional squads. And the whole mindset has to shift from just experimenting to building industrialized, scalable solutions right from the start. And to make all of that work, you need 4 foundational pillars to be rock solid. You have to get your people ready to collaborate with agents. You need crystal clear governance to manage autonomy. You need the right technology foundation, what the report calls an agentic AI mesh. And you absolutely positively need high-quality, accessible data. Get those right, and you're ready to go. And this really is the final takeaway. The report closes with this powerful call to action. The era of just playing around with Gen AI, of endless pilots that go nowhere, that's ending. The technology is here, it's mature enough to drive real, meaningful change. Look, the technology to make this happen isn't some far-off promise. It's here, right now. So the question isn't if this is going to happen. The real question is for you. It's not about what AI can do for you anymore. It's about how you are going to reinvent your entire business to harness its power. That is the question that every single leader needs to be answering today.